Today we have a special guest, Jeremy Walters. He's actually one of our assistant coaches at our high school football program over here in Las Vegas. Coach Walters, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell them what you want to know.
Um, I'm Jeremy Walters. I'm an assistant coach at the Cimarron football program. What?
No, tell them where you're from and all that good stuff. You're a Lions
Oh,
fan. We got a key matchup today.
I'm from Detroit. Why else would I be a Lions fan? There's no reason to be a Lions fan unless you're from Detroit, and there's no reason to be a fan of any other team if you are from Detroit.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you coming on the show this week. It is
No
going to
doubt.
be a great matchup versus Carolina. You know, we're both injury prone or plagued, but we will get to that. What I want to do right now is get to the Thursday night game where we had the Seahawks versus the Cardinals. Seahawks were finally at home after 3 weeks. They ended up getting it done 28-21. The quarterback situation, we had a little question. Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins or Russell and DK. It was pretty even, man. Tyler Lockett ended up being the star guy for Russell, but DK Metcalf ended up beating that in fantasy-wise, 13 points to 10. So if you picked that duo, you were right. So good job. I did bet the under on that game and hit it. So, you know, that's a good day. We'll get to that one in a minute, Kane. Hold on. He's got a lot of stuff he's got to tell us about the Lions today. Anyways, Chiefs, what you think about that game going in?
We got that pick. That was pretty cool to see. Like we said, and we talked about, even when you break it down from multiple levels, man, it was a toss up the whole time. And this was something for me. That's why I picked them. Seattle had to get this win, especially being at home. I know not having a crowd makes a huge difference, but maybe they had that little comfortable level to find a way to make the right adjustments and elongate the game to get the win. So it was a good game, but Russell found a way to get it done.
Yeah, Walters, you got anything to add?
I do.
Do it.
I love the Seahawks highlighter green jerseys,
Oh, yeah.
but I hate them with the blue pants. They don't look good together with the blue pants and white shirt combo is clean. I like that. But they should just go full highlighter when they're going to wear that green jersey.
Yeah. I agree with you. I love the green stuff.
I do like the jersey tops, though.
That's cool. All right, so that one made the Seahawks the legit number ones right now. The Rams are real close behind. They got a key matchup on Monday. Make sure you tune back in on Monday so you can hear us talk about the Bucs versus the Rams. We ended up getting that one, Cheese. You're still one ahead of me going into this week's game, so we're going to kick it off. Go ahead, Packers versus Colts. What are you thinking in this game?
The last podcast, I started getting a little bit too far into it, but you know, the Colts are definitely going to try to establish a run, and the question marks on the Green Bay Packers defense. We are a lot healthier than we've been. You know, you look 2 weeks ago, we had rookie linebackers in because of injuries. Last week, almost all of our starting corners were out of the game. Barely found a way to win that one, but now we're back to healthy and on point and on cue. Now, that being said, Aaron Rodgers still going against a defense that I think is good. It is legit good. It was a question mark at the beginning of the season. Can they be? But and I think they got one of the best linebackers that play in the game for him. So he definitely has his his work cut out for him. If it comes down to a Packers and Phillip Rivers, shootout, and it's going to be up to one of them to win the game because maybe Green Bay being healthy does enough stuff sustainable defensively to try to slow them down and hold down that run game, and then vice versa with Green Bay, then, I would take Aaron Rodgers over that one to win the game and have to get it done for me. Coaching-wise, the Colts, they're a real physical team and play call type of team. They're going to get in there and try to whoop you physically, especially with that offensive line. That's one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. So if Green Bay can, that's the key. If Green Bay can stop that and try to control the line of scrimmage, because now you're playing a team you can't just rush everybody, which is what the Smiths do really well. Now you got to control the line of scrimmage and stop the run, which we've been struggling at. But maybe everybody healthy, it can be a turnaround for our defense. So I'm still going to go Green Bay on that one, though.
Walters, you're an NFC North guy.
I really like the Colts defense. That is a solid unit. That offensive line is physical and will move the ball. Coach, Cheese, you talked about the Smiths not being able to rush. if they can make Phillip Rivers uncomfortable, I think that is a good thing for the Packers. Phillip Rivers is traditionally not very good once he gets knocked around a couple times.
100%.
So, the Packers offense is the Packers offense. You can't just stop Aaron Jones. You can't just stop Devontae Adams. And if you do, Aaron Rodgers can still make magic happen every once in a while. So I think this is going to be a great game. I'm looking at the Packers in a close one. But I think it's going to be a great game.
Yeah, so fantasy-wise, the Colts, Michael Pittman, the rookie out of USC, he's coming on pretty strong as of late. He had that surgery on his leg to fix his calf. Obviously, it was a big deal at the time, but he recovered really fast. He's a key receiver for Phillip Rivers to go into tonight's matchup and give him an extra option. They got T.Y. that's back and healthy. They've basically got 3 running backs, Nyheim Hines, the rookie Jonathan Taylor, who finally started getting a lot more touches. And then they put Jordan Wilkins in as kind of that bruiser back. So it's going to be interesting to see how that backfield kind of leads the Colts versus y'all's defense, because even though the Smith brothers are pretty solid at pass rush and, get everywhere, they're kind of like a Pittsburgh-style defense, that Colts O-line isn't dumb, and I think they'll be pretty good at the blitz pickup, and they'll get to those double teams to the next level when they have to. I'm not saying he's undersized by any means, but, man, he stands up a lot. So lowest man usually wins. That's going to be interesting to see at the line of scrimmage. Then on the opposite side of the ball, Packers, Aaron Jones is healthy. You got Devontae Adams. You got Aaron Rodgers for kind of a future Hall of Famer. But sportsbooks are saying –
comes back too, which helps him a lot.
Yeah, the sportsbooks are saying Colts are going to win, man. And I'm not a fan of Aaron Rodgers on the road. I like him in Lambeau for sure, but on the road with a good defense like the Colts, I think the Colts' closest game was that first week versus Jacksonville, which is Jacksonville's only win. So I'm going to go with the Colts, just go against you guys. And I think Phillip Rivers ends up getting it done. They got a lot of weapons. That defense is going to come home and, put the pressure on Rodgers. So you guys got the Packers. I'm going to take the Colts. Next game we're going to talk about, we got the Chiefs versus the Raiders. Walters, I want you to go ahead and tell us what you think about that game.
I think the Chiefs are going to destroy the Raiders this time. The Raiders came out and bullied the Chiefs in the first matchup and won the game, and I think that every single member of that Chiefs roster remembers that and is ready for it. And they're going to come out and they're just going to manhandle the Raiders this time. That's my opinion.
Jeez, short and sweet.
Yeah. Well, my thing with it is too. I don't see. I love what Las Vegas is doing, but I don't see the Raiders beating the Chiefs twice in a row for that division, since they already squeaking out one already, and the Chiefs are going to be ready. And coming off a bye week. And my main thing is Andy Reid. Andy Reid is going to be ready, and he's going to have formations and stuff that the Raiders haven't seen them do yet so far. To this point in the season. And he's going to pull it out a little bit and sprinkle it out and make them have to adjust and make a great game plan like we've seen Andy Reid do multiple times. So I'm definitely going with Chiefs on that one too. I don't know how much of a blowout I say it would be, but I definitely see the Chiefs winning by, at least a 14-point cushion for sure. I don't think
you need to go bet that.
I didn't even realize Andy Reid was coming off a bye. I don't think he's ever lost in his career coming off a bye.
Yeah, he's insane off of that.
Yeah, that's an interesting stat right there. If it's legit. But Raiders, what have they been doing lately? They've been running the ball. Derek Carr hasn't been having to throw the ball as much because they've been running it 40 times a game. With that big O-line, that's a mismatch for the Chiefs. The Chiefs' defensive line or defensive front is probably the worst part of that defense, in my opinion. Last time they played, they got burnt probably 3 or 4 times. Derek Carr throwing it over the top. That's why they scored 40-something points. That's definitely not going to happen again. Like you said, Andy Reid's going to have those. He's going to make sure that they practice against all that, So I'm also going to take the Chiefs. Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, just that offense. They got Sammy Watkins coming back this week. You got Clyde Edwards-Helaire back there being amazing rookie for them. And then Le'Veon Bell is a nice little addition as well to be more of that bruising back. Defensive-wise, the Raiders are a little bit dangerous, man. Jonathan Abrams back there at the safety position, I think he's got these guys very motivated, very confident. The front seven's getting the quarterbacks. Max Crosby, the guy we talked about in the last week, podcast was one of the key guys, and he had a huge game. Like, he had 2 or 3 sacks versus whoever they played last week. I'm really interested to see that. And I love divisional games. The Raiders already beat them once. They drafted, in my opinion, to try to stay with the Chiefs, but the Chiefs are going to be too much. They're going to bounce back, and they're going to get done. I don't think any of us think otherwise. It is in the new stadium here in Las Vegas, so I wish I would have went to that game. That would have been cool, Balters. We got to do that one year.
18-3, by the way, Andy Reid. 18-3 off the bye.
Yeah, I'm going with the Reid master. Next game. What's up?
That dude's a football wizard.
Yeah, I know. Next game I want to talk about, Titans versus the Ravens. 2 of these teams, both in the AFC, probably battling for a wild card position. They still got a chance to win their divisions if the Ravens can keep up with the Steelers. They haven't looked too solid getting the ball into the end zone lately, but that defense, it's always coming in clutch. Titans, they've been struggling on the defensive side of the ball, which I don't think they should. They've got a lot of talent on that side of the ball, and they're going to try to run the football as well. Derrick Henry going against the Ravens. Ravens struggled against the run game versus New England, and I think the Titans are a way better run-based football team than New England is. It's going to be interesting to see what that is in the trenches. Oh, this is a close one. I'm going to have to give the lean towards the Ravens because they're at home, and I love John Harbaugh. It's John Harbaugh. I don't even know how to say his last name. Walters, what you think about that game?
I think it's going to be a smash mouth game. I think both teams are going to come out ready to fight. Look, the Titans were in the AFC Championship game last year, and they didn't get any respect all season last year, and they're not getting respect this season. I think the biggest issue for the Titans, the reason that the Ravens will probably win this smash mouth game, is that Taylor Lewan's hurt. Taylor Lewan's out for the rest of the season, and when you're facing a Ravens defense and you want to move that Ravens defense, you need your stud offensive lineman, and the Titans just don't have that. So I'm leaning towards the Ravens, but I think that everybody on that field is just going to be looking to kill each other.
That's always fun to watch. Cheese?
It's going to be a great game. I'm going to go Titans on this one. I think overall, they are a better football team and have been playing better than what the Ravens have. The Ravens impressed the piss out of me last year, and so did the Titans, but they've dropped off a little bit farther down than what Tennessee has. And if they can control the line of scrimmage, that offensive lineman being out for Tennessee is awful because that man is a freak. But can they find ways to cover that and hide that in their blocking scheme and still get Henry those one-on-one matchups with either a linebacker or breaking into the secondary? So I think they try to get that done. If it comes to be a smash mouth game, I think with Henry's got to put the game on his back. We've seen him do it before. I think the defense for Tennessee is good, has good players, and they find a way to get their defense fixed because they have to in games like that if they're going to try to progress any more, than what their potential is for this season. So I'm gonna go with Tennessee on this one. They established the clock, they established the line of scrimmage in the run game, and try to take over field position. So, yeah, I'm going to go Tennessee.
Let me ask you a question. How do you stop Derrick Henry? I've told you this multiple times. How do you stop that man?
I mean, you got to play gap sound football off the rip.
Hitting him in the backfield, Cheese. You got to hit that man in the backfield. You have to make him try to dance and move his feet because once he gets his head of steam rolling, dude, not too many people want to go tackle that 250-pound running back.
Yeah, so how do you do that though? Because it sounds great to say you got him in the backfield, but you gotta get that first step before you even get in the backfield. And I think it's really playing gap football, gap scheme football, maybe in 2s and 4s, things like that, slanting, making sure that everyone's going into a gap, and if what gap you're not going to defensive line wise and that defensive line movement, and also changing my fronts in the defensive line. The linebackers also have to know and make sure that they have those gaps that are not accounted for, and the inside linebacker play has to be really good against that guy because as soon as you're late on a read or as soon as you step a different direction from that guard pulling backside and you get chipped, it's gone. And then when Derrick Henry is freaking one-on-one matchup with the defensive back, you take that every time because you're already sitting at 7 yards and he's probably going to break it for a touchdown. So it is extremely hard, and that's why I kind of lean toward
well, that's
Tennessee.
what I was trying to get to because Baltimore Ravens defense is probably top in the league. They run a lot of blitzes. There's going to be somebody coming free a lot. It's going to be a lot on Tannehill's shoulders.
Sometimes too defensively, just because a team runs really well, you don't really consistently blitz them, because as soon as you blitz somebody and a gap opens up or something gets tweaked one instant,
now you're lost.
There's no levels, So I would love to play levels against Derrick Henry more so than just trying to blitz the piss out of him.
I think the way you stop Derrick Henry is by stopping everyone else on the Titans offense.
True.
Because you're not going to stop Henry. He's gonna get
slow him down.
I've been picking on Thomas all season because Henry was his first round pick in fantasy, and Henry's floor is 85 yards. That's the worst he's going to do. He's going to get 85 yards.
No doubt.
Because you hand him the ball 40 times, he's going to mash it into the line. If he mashes it into the line every time, he's going to get 2 yards every time, and he's going to get 85 yards. So you don't stop Derrick Henry, but if you can make the Titans offense one-dimensional, Tannehill is not a good enough quarterback. And I'm sorry, Thomas, but A.J. Brown is not a good enough wide receiver to be the guys who win you a game. And if you take away the rest of the Titans offense, that's how you beat the Titans, is by stopping everything else.
I wouldn't necessarily go on a limb and say Tannehill isn't that great of a quarterback, because he was in Miami whenever they sucked. He got to a new place like Tennessee and then made them a playoff contending team. He's thrown for 4 touchdowns multiple times in the past couple of years with Tennessee, and I do think A.J. Brown is a legit receiver. He had a couple big drops. And once he fixes those hands, man, the way he creates separation down the field, it's scary. He just got to go and catch the ball, because you're a damn receiver. Go catch the dang ball. That's your job. But it's going to be interesting. They're going to have a lot of man opportunities this week.
We'll start fantasy every year where you get Derrick Henry and you get A.J. Brown, and then I get to pick mine.
All right. I'll make sure not to pick those guys next year. Anyways, so me and Walters are going Ravens. Cheese is going Titans in that game. That one's going to be a close AFC division, just matchup. It's not divisional. Next game I want to go to is the Dolphins versus the Broncos. Cheese, I know you've been high on the Miami Dolphins. I'm going to let you go ahead and lead this one off.
Dolphins, baby. Again, Dolphins. They're figuring out what they need to do and how they need to do it. And the rest of the season right now, if I'm looking at it, and we've talked about it multiple times, I'm liking what we're having a write off on as if I was a Miami Dolphin fan. Tua's playing good. The defense for them is extremely scrappy, and I like the way they play, and they play together as a team. It's one of those teams that it kind of looks like a college team playing more so than an NFL team. They're playing with good chemistry right now, and they are real young. And I think they're just eager and want to win. And for me, there's a big question mark on the Broncos, because I don't think they know what direction they're going to or what to start piecing together to start getting into the right direction. So I definitely go Miami on that one, and Tua has a great day.
I just want to kind of piggyback off the Dolphins defense. They did take 4 or 5 Patriots defensive players this past offseason. They've got the corner from the Cowgirls, Byron Jones, who has been sitting out probably the first 6 or 7 games, but he's come back, man, and he has been playing well. Xavier Howard, the Dolphins actually drafted, I'm pretty sure, or they might have traded for him, I don't know. But he's a young lockdown guy as well. That Dolphins defense has been pieced together by Flores, and man, they are pretty scary, especially when you have Tua back there. Even though he's a rookie, he still does rookie things. But at the end of the day, he's an athlete. He's going to make plays happen. I do like that. And then the Broncos on the other side, their Drew Lock might be out this week. So Ryan Thiepen, or whoever it is, Brett Thiepen, might be starting. I don't like the rookie, basically wide receiver for the Broncos right now. I don't think they're ready to play against Xavier Howard and Byron Jones. I think the Dolphins win this one again. Dolphins are going to be a playoff contending team. They beat the Bills once. They win that division. Walters, what you think about that matchup?
I think that everybody in the league hires a New England assistant and expects to turn into New England the next year. And that's just not how it works, right?
Yeah.
The Dolphins have been patient, and Brian Flores has done as good a job as any former New England assistant since in the Belichick era. and he has put that defense together, and they are playing good defense. The only thing I'm worried about if I'm a Dolphins fan is we might be getting a little too good too early. I would really have hoped for this year to not be a great season and get another piece on that offensive line in the off season.
I'm gonna stop you because I think they have 2 first-rounders again this year, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if it was all last year, but I'm pretty sure they got 2 again this year. But keep going.
No, and it's the Texans, isn't it?
I have no idea. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah. They got the Texans from the Laramie Tunsil deal, so they're gonna get another good draft piece this year, and they're gonna put another piece on that offensive line. So never mind, that was a bad statement by me. But yeah, I think the Dolphins are coming together, and they could be really scary coming down the pipe in the next couple of years.
That's a dark horse right there. Put your Super Bowl bet in because shit happens. Something crazy could. But the Chiefs are still in the AFC. So yeah.
The question is against Denver. Let's not get crazy. Dude, I think they beat Denver. Yeah, I'm stopping there. We're taking this week by week.
All right.
Again, even if Drew Lock can play, I think the Dolphins will be fine. If Drew Lock can't play, I think the Dolphins will be fine. I don't think Drew Lock is a good quarterback going down the road. And
agreed.
Brett Rippon is he's at least got a cannon on his arm. So, but I think that the Broncos are a mess, and the Dolphins are heading in the right direction.
I'm starting to agree with you guys about Drew Lock. I was like, man, this guy's going to be the next Patty Mahomes just because I wanted him to compete in that division. And I'm freaking swallowing my dang words now. Oh. Next game, we're going to get to the NFC South. We got a divisional matchup, Falcons versus the Saints. Saints are Drew Breesless. Walters, tell me what you think about that one.
I think that the Saints are making the wrong decision, starting Taysom Hill. Look, Taysom Hill is an awesome story. He's an awesome athlete. He's exactly the kind of guy you want on your team, but I don't think he's an NFL quarterback. Now, playing the Falcons defense, does it matter? I don't think so. I think that the Saints will still win this one based on Michael Thomas, based on Alvin Kamara, based on the Saints defense being pretty darn good. I think that I would like to see Jameis Winston get a shot here, and if he puts things together, that could be good for him going down the road. But honestly, another thing I think the Saints might be doing is they play the Falcons again in 2 weeks. Start Taysom Hill this time, bring Jameis Winston back next time. So
I still think that Jameis is going to be somebody that gets reps into tomorrow's game. I really do. I think he'll get in there a couple packages. Taysom Hill will lead the things off, but then they're going to throw him in there, especially if they're winning. You know, it's the Falcons, but Falcons got a scary offense. That's all I want to say. Keep going, though, Walters.
Oh, I was just going to say that, I think that the bigger thing is that the Saints defense is really good. The Saints defense is, like, they're good, man. I would not want to play against the Saints defense right now. They've come together. They pretty well shut down the Bucs a couple weeks ago, and the Bucs offense is scary. I know that the Falcons have a lot of pieces on offense, but I don't know how well they've come together as a unit. I think the Saints are just going to win this game pretty handily.
Chiefs?
Yeah, it goes down just for defense for me. I'm just going to go ahead and give the offenses, even though I still think it's one-sided a little bit more toward the Saints. But both of these teams offensively have great talent, but I'm looking at it as defensively, and the Saints defense are extremely well. They have shut down the offenses that have been really high-powered already. You're losing Breeze. It's okay. We've already seen this just last year with Bridgewater when people had a big question mark on Bridgewater when he came in, and then they won games. So I think they can find a way. And Sean Payton is a smart coach, and defenses win you good critical games like this and divisional games like this. So I'm gonna take the Saints on this one as well, just off of defense.
Yeah, well, since the Falcons fired that head coach, they've been pretty hot lately. Their defense has actually stepped up. They put in the Green Bay Packer 2 guys in the A-gap. a lot. They caused us problems last week versus the Panthers. We ended up losing a close one. I do like the same. I like Taysom Hill better than Jameis. So I thought Jameis could sling it, but he's always, making some stupid decisions. There's always 2 or 3 stupid decisions that dude makes. And in the NFL, you can't go with a guy like that. Taysom Hill's shown that he's a smart guy. He can play multiple positions. He can decently throw. You got Michael Thomas on the other side. You got Jared Cook still going out there at freaking 37. So I'm not too worried about the offense losing a beat, but it's a division matchup. The Falcons, they're playing hot. Their offense is not bad. They got Julio, Calvin Ridley, Hayden Hurst, that's healthy. Todd Gurley doesn't look the same, but he still gets 3 to 4 yards a carry. I'm going Falcons. I think upset cities are about to happen versus the Saints. Falcons end up doing something good in its division, and I need the Saints to lose in case Panthers just decide to start a winning streak. Which is going to take us to the game of the week, Walters. Lions versus the Panthers. You're coming to Sharetown, boy. Sharetown. So going into that matchup, I know I'm going to hear an earful from you today, and I can't wait. We are Teddy Bridgewaterless, I think. Christian McCaffrey-less. Our offense is going with a XFL quarterback, PJ Walker. He did play under Matt Rule a couple places. And, man, I think that we're just too much on defense for those Lions to even think about coming in and competing this week. You don't have Matthew or Kenny Galladay, and that's your best receiver.
Let's be honest. Nobody wants to play in this game. Teddy Bridgewater doesn't want to play. Christian McCaffrey doesn't want to play. Matthew Stafford doesn't want to play. DeAndre Swift doesn't want to play. Kenny Galladay doesn't want to play. TJ Hawkinson is on the fence. Nobody wants to play in this game. Okay, I'm a Lions fan, so I can say it. Both of these teams are just awful. They're awful teams that won a couple games, that got their fans like Thomas all fired up. That's right. This is the toilet bowl. I know the Jets and Giants are probably going to play each other in Week 15, and that's going to be the worst matchup of the season. But these two teams, I love my Lions. I want my Lions to win, just like my fantasy team beat Thomas's fantasy team twice this season.
Twice, and we're still last place, so good job.
Twice.
Thanks.
I have 3 wins. 2 of them are against you. But I'm going to be rooting for the Lions. Honestly, I think that it'll probably end in a tie because they're both just bad.
No, it won't end in a tie because we'll end up going for 2 and failing or something like that because Matt Rule has some balls. He just went for a fake punt the past 3 weeks in a row. And the last one he did.
That punter draw last week was the dumbest call I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was stupid. But either way, I'm a fan. We're at home. We're going to take it to the Lions just because it's the NFC North. And, we're going to handle business. You're coming down to the NFC South and probably going to get that ass whooped. So I'm rooting for a 4th win. I don't care about draft picks. We got enough talent. Just wait till CMC comes back. He'll be our offense. We don't need nobody else. And, Chiefs, I know we haven't let you talk about this one. Go ahead.
Oh, that's fine. Y'all go at it. But I really don't know, man. I really don't know. I sit there and say, okay, because as banged up as Carolina is, can they get anything offensively going? Yes, I think they can. They will be able to at times because the Lions defense are going to have some openings in their defense at times. And the running back for Carolina, what's his last name?
Mike Davis?
Yes. So he's a hard runner, especially in between the tackles. If they can really get him started and just let him honestly be an asshole to tackle for 4 quarters, I think that does actually help them. PJ Walker can't throw punts out there like he's like trying to throw passes. He's actually got to do enough, look for the short intermediate routes. And then on the back end, I see does Matthew Stafford just go out there and just have a Matthew Stafford day that we've seen before and throw the ball all over the place, but he's missing people to throw the ball to that he usually throws the ball to. So I canceled that one out. So I don't know. It's going to be playing almost right here in my backyard. I'm gonna go with the hometown just for this one. I'm gonna go Carolina on this one. This one's gonna be a crazy ass game though, dude.
You ready for this? Lions jump out to the 35-7 lead.
Jeez.
because that's what the Lions do. And then the Panthers win 36-37. Or 36-35. Yeah, the Lions won't score. The Lions will jump out to a big lead, and then they'll think the game is over, and then the other team will start playing.
Yeah, I've seen that multiple times this year. That's what I'm hoping for. I just don't think
multiple times every year.
We got a couple good guys on our defense side. Jeremy Chin, probably in the runner for Rookie Defensive Player of the Year. You got Brian Burns, who's probably got the leading sack fumble happening. You got Derek Brown, who's just a force in the middle. I like what we've been doing, and I think we could be good. It's just not going to be happening this year for us. But anyways, you got anything else to say, Walters? You gonna say something else while you got me on here live?
Just one more thing, that you're 0-2 against me in fantasy.
Shut your mouth. I don't care. We're last place. Brandon actually is last place. Don't let us fool you. Brandon Garcia is in last place, and we're right above him. So I will take the credit like that. I've lost.
Well, you're right above him. I'm right above you.
No. Well, I've lost a lot of close games in that fantasy league. I want you to know that, and I should have definitely, with the roster I have, been in the playoffs. Anyways.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Shit happens.
I have the second most points scored against me.
Yeah.
To Brandon, and I've lost multiple close games, and I have Alvin Kamara, Ronald Jones, and Josh Jacobs. Those three alone should put me in the playoffs. Oh, and then I have Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. My roster is way better than yours.
Yeah, but you traded for a couple of those guys like week 6 when you was already like 1-7.
But how could I be 1-7 in week 6?
I don't know. Week 7. Sorry, I'm from North Carolina. Yeah. Give me credit when it's due. So that's going to actually do it for our key matchups. What we do now is we get into our picks for the whole week. This is going to be kind of like rapid fire. Cheese, go ahead and take it off for the first game.
All right, let's go Steelers and Jaguars. I'm going Steelers just off of straight defense itself, and Jaguars have nothing to lose. That's why I hate playing them. That's why I hated playing them last week. But Steelers are too strong.
Steelers.
Yeah, I'm taking Steelers, but Jacksonville could be that upset ticket, dude. It'd be an interesting money line. The money line, the Jaguars and the Jets this week. $5 pays 120.
We already talked about this one, Lions and Panthers. I went Panthers.
Panthers.
Lions.
All right, Patriots and Texans. I'm actually going Patriots just because of how they try to do things schematically, and the Texans are hurting. So I go Patriots.
Bill O'Brien's destroyed that franchise. Patriots.
Yeah, Patriots. I don't think the Houston's wide receivers are any match for New England.
Yeah. Talked about this next one, Titans and Ravens. I went Titans.
Ravens.
Eagles and Browns. I'm going with Browns to establish a run game, and the Browns defense does enough to make Carson Wentz look shitty like he has been.
I'm going Browns on this one too. NFC
Back to you, John.
It's the worst. They're the worst division in football, the NFC East. So I'm going Browns. I think you're right. The run game is just too much, and it's in Cleveland again.
Getting Nick Chubb in places in time is good for the Browns. I hate that though.
We talked about this, Falcons and Saints. I went Saints.
I'm going Falcons on this one. I think that's upset.
Saints.
All right, Bengals and the Washington team. I'm going Bengals. Joe Burrow's got to get it done. It's going to be fun to see Joe Burrows and Chase Young going at it, but Bengals find a way.
I'm going to go football team because Alex Smith, he threw for a career high last week. He's got talent around him. He's coming back off that surgery, the broken leg or whatever he had. So I'm riding with Riverboat Ron and Alex Smith at home.
Alex Smith career high against the Detroit Lions, by the way. I am gonna go with the football team just because I want that NFC East to end with every team having 3 wins and the Eagles winning it based on that tie.
That'd be great. All right, Jets, Chargers. I've definitely been on the Herbert train. I like what the Chargers have been doing, especially playing the Jets team. I'm going Chargers.
It's in LA or is it in?
They're at Chargers.
I love Justin Herbert too. This is another upset that you could cash money in because the Jets did play really, really solid defense last week. And Joe Flacco, Oh, that's interesting. I can't go against this one, though. I'm never picking the Jets to win, but I'm going to take the Chargers. Justin Herbert.
Chargers. Welcome to the club, Jets.
All right, Dolphins and Broncos. We talked about that one. I went Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Cowboys and Vikings. Definitely going Vikings. Dalvin Cook has any type of a good game that he usually has, it's over. Cowboys won't be able to stop it.
Yeah, Andy Dalton comes back for the Cowgirls, so I still think Dalvin's too much.
The Vikings have improved more than any team within this season. Justin Jefferson is a scary revelation to replace Stephon Diggs.
He's legit.
All right, Packers, Colts. I went Packers.
I'm going Colts on this one.
Pack.
All right, Chiefs and the Raiders. I picked the Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs.
Yeah.
I love the Raiders. The Chiefs ain't going to lose twice.
And that does it for the picks.
All right. Well, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Coach Walters, we appreciate you coming on the show. It's always a pleasure to have you. You want to leave off with anything? You want to just...
No, just no.
Just that he beat me twice in fantasy.
If you keep talking about fantasy, I'm going to have to come over there and elbow drop you. Chiefs, kill him with the vibes.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good, safe weekend. Just that he beat